Understanding the question is a very important component, and quite often we don't understand the question and we end up writing. I hope you all understand there's a serious difference between writing and answering. Of course, answer is also writing, but answer is also, like as you may have done in PT, sharing. But then what I basically want to bring to your mind, a very clear thing here is writing and answering is very different. In answering, you're writing, but you can answer even without writing. So this answer writing is something that is very exclusive that we must be understanding clearly, because for the simple reason, when they have asked you a question, they give you marks for not for writing but for answering. So it is very important that we understand this first thing very clearly, that we have to answer, we don't have to write. Now, if I just talk a little further into that, understanding the question is very important. Lots of time you will find that UPSC is giving you questions, and then while they say there's one question, but there are 2 questions, 3 questions, 4 questions, sometimes just one question in that. So understanding the question on the first level itself, try developing the knack to understand how many parts this question has got. Because quite often, a lot of statements come along with the question and they appear to be part of the question, but quite often they are not. And most often they are not. In fact, quite often they are a trap. So let us understand the parts of the question. You have one question in which you can say, like I'm reading this one question that lists the Central Asian republics and identify those of particular strategic and economic importance to India. Examine the opportunities and bottlenecks in enhancing relations with these countries. Now, if this question I was reading from year 2011, I would like you to just concentrate, play it back maybe, and then try and see as to how many parts this question has basically got. And that is where I would imagine you have to do justice for all the parts of the question. Now that's one part. If there is 2 parts, 3 parts of the question, I can't just simply go on answering on the theme of the question, but I have to attend to all the parts of the question. Second thing, when you have got different parts, it doesn't mean that you have to essentially write equal to all the parts. Look at the keywords, like some parts of the question may be having some singular word, some places they may be having plural word. What are the causes of regional imbalance? What step can be taken to attain the same? Now, if you see the 2 parts of the question, first part I'm using the word S, the second part I'm not using the word S. The expectation is that you write more of the first part and less of the second part. If I say, what is the cause of regional imbalance in India? And what are the steps that can be taken to attain the same? Now, you can see I've reversed the entire question. I put plural to the second part, and therefore I expect that you're writing more in the second part. These are very small things, and quite often, because of we not being so much of, I would call it as sensitized, we quite often ignore that and we just move on. So it is very important that at this part you just understand how many parts the question have got, and when I am understanding more than one part, I'm going to be giving attention to both the parts or 3 parts, whatever. And then the other thing which you've learned just now is that when some part has got a singular, it gets less attention in my answer, and then some part has got plural, you get more attention in my answer. And that is what one level that we're looking at.